All right, thank you, Mary Jo.
You're welcome.
Hi, welcome to the Downriver Council for the Arts. In this episode, we've got art exhibits, music, and interviews. We're a lot of fun, so stick around.
Hi, we're here tonight at the Pocket Size Show at the Downriver Council for the Arts. And the Pocket Size Show is a show of art that is all smaller than 12 inches. We have a number of artists. There's a lot of pieces in this show. And if you're someone who's just getting into collecting art, you don't know much about it, or you can't afford to buy big pieces for thousands and thousands of dollars, this is the place you want to be, because this art is affordable. We have a wide range of styles and types, and we have quite a few artists that are participating in this show. So it's a great starting point for you.
This piece is something a little bit different that I tried. I've been doing some acrylic painting and on canvas, and I decided to see what would happen if I did a little bit of collage along with it. So I put some collage paper pieces with it and painted on top of them and put some more on, and that's kind of what happened. It just came out like that.
Well, what I'm working with at the moment, there are two different types of work here. I've been taking old family pictures, and these are pictures of my mother's family in this case. Here's a formal Edwardian portrait taken in about, I want to say, 1905 or so. This is the family that lived at the corner of 4th and Orange Street here in Wyandotte in the old Cahalan house. And this is everyone who was living in the house at the time. And what I've done is I've taken them, printed them on labels, adhesive labels, and then used wooden blocks to zero in on images like faces and specific details like hands or someone's outfit. And I've broken up the specific details around three-dimensional wooden blocks and then reassembled the image. And there are a couple ways you can think about this. I've reassembled the image so that our attention is different as we look at it. But you can also imagine that as you look at a picture like this, your eye never settles regularly on any one thing. So if this is a horizontal of faces, our eyes wander a lot. And what I've done is I've taken the wandering and I've put them into 3 dimensions, and I put spaces between things. So that's what I'm doing with both of these. The other one over here, I can move this piece. This is my father's family, the Lozelles, and it's a portrait that was taken in about 1916 or so. This is my grandfather back here at 12. My great-grandfather, for those who know Wyandotte history, he built the Cora building, and that is Cora, his wife, next to him, and their daughter, my great-aunt Sally, off to the side. And again, it's a formal, seated Edwardian-era portrait, but I'm breaking them up to concentrate on faces, on my great-grandfather's hand as it rests on his knee, and other elements of the composition.
I've been painting for, I guess, about 4 years now. I've been an artist most of my life doing other things, but having come from Jacksonville, North Carolina, which is on right near the ocean and everything, I fell in love with the ocean and would love to take pictures and paint different things there, and I just love the water, and so you can see I'm very inspired by that type of scenery.
I actually had found the vessels online, bought them, and then decided to fill them with something. Literally because I found them. I just thought they were so neat, and so we purchased them. And then my wife had suggested I make a mushroom, so I did. And then from there it ended up being a bunch of other little things. So rabbits and well, snails. We did a couple hedgehogs, things like that. So it just, and then she found out about this and then decided to go ahead and enter in a few pieces for me.
Hi everyone, this is Michael Belcom.
And this is Brian Webb.
And we are
Be Well My Friends. Make sure to check us out at bewellmyfriends.org, or you can find us at Facebook at Be Well My Friends.
That's right. Our mission is to create and host unique fundraisers with the proceeds going to the people, organizations, and charities of Downriver. And many ones that we do are the Oddfellow Concert Lounge. We do the Wyandotte Zombie Pub Crawl, the Kids Candy Crawl, the Acoustic Crawl. We do DJing. We do the Taylor Sportsplex. If you have an event coming up and you would like to hire Be Well My Friends, all the money that we raise goes back into the nonprofit and goes back out into the community. So Mike and I, we don't take a cent from that. We
Not
just
a penny.
volunteer our time.
So check us out, volunteer, and be well, my friends.
Be part of the change.
The DCA is committed to connecting art to the community, and one way we can do this is by partnering with other organizations. Self-Esteem is an exhibit where we partnered with Hagera, a mental health agency, and we asked local high school and middle school students to create artwork centered around self-esteem, and we displayed that in our main gallery during May, a Mental Health Awareness Month.
So we are very excited to have partnered with the Downriver Council for the Arts to give our middle school and high school students an opportunity to express their views about their own self-esteem and self-esteem in general through their artwork. So this is a brand new endeavor. Hagera Health and the council worked for the last year on putting a project together. So the response from the community has been really amazing. I think the most amazing part is the response from the students and their interest, their talent, their amazing introspection as they talk and look at self-esteem.
This art is, the meaning is self-esteem, and it's a lady, she's looking in a mirror and she's experiencing how she really feels, probably on the inside, and how she sees herself. I think a lot of myself, because I think about myself a lot whenever I look in the mirror. It inspired me a lot to draw her and stuff, you know, looking in the mirror herself, seeing who she is.
I made this because I made a boogeyman because like it signifies like fear and like bad things that can happen in life, and I made a bed elevated like in the light area to show that it's gonna be okay and there's like better times coming and you'll find ways to protect yourself over time.
Having this live exhibit was very nerve-wracking, to say the least, and I was shaking the entire time, but I'm kind of happy because people got to see what I like to do.
What it was like being a model for this art exhibit, it was actually pretty exciting. Like all of the energy that I was feeling and like how it felt to have paint and everything be described in self-esteem was really amazing.
We don't really understand how much art can help us rise above things that we're going through, and these beautiful pieces of art are just wonderful examples of how these young people are using art to kind of get past some of the things that they are going through in our society today. So it's just wonderful to see the young people here and involved in all of that.
But she tries. She is good. we decided we'd do a community art project, and that's what's here behind me. So what we did was we chose a color palette, built some panels out of masonite and some furring strips, and then we just painted a nice pattern on there, and everyone is supposed to go up to it that is attending tonight, if they'd like to, and write something positive, inspiring, qualities about themselves that they think are positive. It's mostly to display positive images and words, and hopefully what we can do with this is use it for some other shows, and possibly even have it travel around downriver to some of the maybe high schools or community centers, and have people draw or write things that are inspiring and positive.
So this is my painting. It says untitled, but the title that I had come up with was fragmented. So basically, it kind of represents that, like, the struggle with self-esteem that I know a lot of other people like live with. So I just kind of want to show support of that, and that if you struggle with self-esteem, like, you're not alone. And this kind of represents like the breakthrough that you can like overcome like self-esteem issues, and I just wanted to present that with this painting. So yeah.
So how we ended up with this event and this collaboration with the DCA was through a local connection in Wyandotte, actually somebody that I went to high school with, but also sits on the board of Henry Ford Hospital, put me together with another board member here at the DCA, and we started talking about what could we do to highlight mental health, especially with our youth, and have an event that gave our youth the ability to express how they feel about self-esteem via art. Because first of all, we know that our youth don't always express things in the traditional sit-down talk therapy way. And secondly, we thought, why not do it in a way that might bring a little more awareness to mental health, but also to the various ways that we can talk about our mental health.
I can't even remember how young I was when I decided to pursue art. Art's always been a part of my life, but where it transitioned to being more public and putting some of my creativity out into the world was really after I decided to get my ears pierced right after high school graduation. And I'd waited that long because I was so afraid that it was gonna hurt. And it did, but it was worth it. And then everything I found at the store was too heavy, and I was worried about having droopy lobes once I got to be in my 50s and 60s. So I started to design art that would be lighter to wear from my ears, so wearable ear art, and then that evolved into paintings and upcycling and working with stained glass and really every medium under the sun. So I consider myself a found object artist or an upcycling artist now, because it's really more the material that's driving what it will turn into than a blank canvas and me just deciding to put my vision onto it. The creative process for me is really an evolution of, it can be a few hours, a few days, multiple months. Some pieces have been circling through my mind for years almost, where I'll consider them like 80% done, but there's still something missing until something finally clicks. And it's more letting the materials drive what the finished product's going to be. As an upcycling artist, it's how can that bridge between industrial influences like metals and glass interact with the natural world. So I'm very inspired by gardens and nature. So you'll see a lot of those kind of duality of themes going through my work. And how does the modern world interact with the natural world? And so finding a way to marry those together in a cohesive way is usually the toughest part. But oftentimes if I just let the materials speak to me rather than trying to make them work a certain way, usually the outcome is much better. Usually a deadline is the most frustrating part. If I have a solo show coming up, or the times I've been submitting an entry to the Downriver Council in Wyandotte, or even Art Prize, that moment between a piece being mostly done in my mind and knowing that the public is going to be looking at it, and is it good enough for it to be out in the world? And oftentimes that's more a leap of faith than actually working with the materials more, trying not to overcook the dinner in a sense. So just trying to be confident in what I've done and my skills. So it's a mental game more than a physical game for me, overcoming the frustration. Oh, I think Michigan has such a vibrant art scene. Southeast Michigan, Western Michigan have had such supportive communities. I've been a part of Art Prize for over a decade now, and Livonia, my hometown, where my private studio is, also is a very supportive community, but I feel so fortunate to have discovered Wyandotte and its vibrant art scene. The Downriver Council for the Arts has been so welcoming to me as an artist and to my family. We love coming down and seeing the new art, and for me as an artist, it helps to give me that testing ground to try new pieces, because Aaron, the director, is so fabulous at coming up with different takes. And as much as I love industrial and environmental art, she'll give us a theme that is maybe outside my comfort zone and forces me to think more about how I can expand my skills and my thought process. I think what people forget when they're looking at the art and thinking about the artist specifically is they start to think that it's just one person coming up with these creations and putting it out there, and they don't think about the team that is behind the artist to bring it into the community. So I have a wonderfully supportive family and studio structure behind the scenes that keeps me rolling with new ideas, and whether it's editing an idea I have, or getting to be that first pass of, what do you think? Is this ready for the public? You know, what am I missing because I have my blinders on? To setting up, tearing down, helping with that community outreach of communicating to different cities around southeastern Michigan, and Michigan as a whole, of getting that outreach out there. So I'm so thankful for my support structure, and Downriver Council for the Arts is a part of that for sure. So I'm thankful to have all the support that I have. The best advice I'd give to a young artist is just get started and keep going. My last formal art classes that I can remember were probably in elementary or middle school, and the best art I've done, or that I consider putting out into the world, has been work I've done as an adult. And certainly some of the foundations from when I was a kid are still there, but it's more that confidence of just getting started. And don't get stuck in your head too much. Just put some paint down, cut some glass, cut some metal, start working with the materials, and the inspiration will come, and it will turn into something fabulous. Just keep going.
Hey there, I'm Ian.
And I'm Gloria.
We are the owners and operators of Gawk Printing, and we are artists printing for artists.
Gawk Printing is a partner to artists of all shapes and sizes. We know firsthand how hard it is to sell your work to a larger audience.
Whether you're ordering prints for the first time or you're a seasoned art veteran, we're here to help meet your needs.
Our experience as creators backs our knowledge when being trusted to take care of reproducing your work. We pride ourselves on our quality assurance.
We offer Giclée quality printing, commercial goods like flyers and posters, and are gearing up to create bound goods like zines, books, and comics.
Our mission is to spread artwork to everyone without the constraints of high volume orders or academic prices. We believe creativity, quality, and collaboration is for every community.
We'd love to start a conversation with you. You can find us at gawkprinting.com or on Instagram at gawkprinting. And remember, art is good for you.
Welcome to the Take Two exhibit here at the Downriver Council for the Arts. This exhibit includes artwork that artists have reworked or possibly have shown in the past, and they're breathing new life into this work. Enjoy the show.
Smell the sweetness of a spring wild.
This is called Duality of Soul. What inspired me for this piece was collaboration with a very good friend of mine. Her name is Alana St. John. She's a writer. We have been corresponding with poems and pieces of writing actually for almost 10 years, and I've always enjoyed creating illustrations that coincide with that. I think a great thing about art is collaboration. You know, here being at an art center in a nonprofit community, it's important to collaborate and engage with others as well as creating art. Now, the reason why a lot of my work tends to be very like death themed or kind of macabre oriented is I guess I don't look at it the same way as many people initially do. I like to I like to think of my work more as transformation. I like to make a lot of characters where it's just a skeletal head, but the rest is regular human. And I think there's a lot that can be symbolized with that. Starting over, being stripped bare of something. And I also, while this isn't an example of that, I do like to make a lot of humor with my work as well. And I do paint a little bit, but I do tend to stick to like drawing utensils with my illustration work, you know, charcoal, pencils, different types of mixed media in that way. Definitely pen to paper.
Just me and my old friend. We're drinking it all in.
Hi, I'm Dave Stratford. I am a singer-songwriter, acoustic guitar musician, my trusty old guitar here, and I hail from Western New York near Buffalo, and my background really is a lot of the old 70s and 80s folk music, John Denver, some James Taylor, and I'm really excited to be here at the Downriver Council for the Arts with this awesome Take Two art exhibit that's opening tonight. And it's a real pleasure to sit here, perform for these wonderful community folks who are out and about enjoying the art exhibit.
The sun, moon, and stars, there's beauty all around. And I feel it all inside of me. I feel the world inside of me. I'm drinking it in.
My piece is a plein air piece. It was painted live at the Henry Ford. This is it here. It's done in acrylic. And usually when you plein air painting is when you paint outdoors on location. And usually we have a group of us from the DCA that goes out for three to 5 hours and we'll paint. It's a fun time. Sometimes we take a lunch with us and just take a break and eat and then go back to painting. But this is the piece that I did. It's acrylic and it shows a lot of the shops that do the workshops that do the glass and the letter press. It's a pond right outside of that area. A lot of you probably will recognize it, but it's in this show here, Take Two at the DCA, and I'm happy to be here.
Hi,
I'm Donna Hinson, and I'm here at the Downriver Council for the Arts at the Take Two exhibit. And my interpretation of this exhibit was that I did a piece, I've done several pieces, but that are remade into something that they didn't originally start out as. So this piece is called Parrot with Fishbowl, and it started out as just a regular painting. It was something completely different than a parrot and a fishbowl and a flower. And then I, some years ago, created for a recycled show pieces with this. And so what we have here is this part of the flower, and up in here, it's partly made with plastic bags and then painted on and over. The parrot is made with recycled paper that I, ground up and applied to the canvas in the shape of a parrot. Everything else, we have some things, some textures in here that are also made with just goo. What can I say? Anyway, I didn't really know what this was going to be at first. I did know that I liked this amaryllis, and then somehow a parrot came into this, and he needed to have a fishbowl, something he was staring at and wanted to do. So this is what I created for the show.
All the pieces that I have in the show are photographs, and they're photographs of flowers. I didn't actually realize that when I first pulled them together, that everything would be a flower, but I picked my favorites, so I guess flowers are what I enjoy photographing the most. The level of detail that you can get in a flower is absolutely amazing. And I find that detail fascinating. You can just delve into it. And flowers, I think, by their very nature, are very uplifting. And it's hard to look at a flower and not feel good. And that's consistent with my philosophy of art, taking pictures. I like the pieces I create to be both pleasant, uplifting, or be pleasant, uplifting, and if I can pull off some whimsy, I like whimsy.
Thank you for watching. If you would like to get involved with the Downriver Council for the Arts, please visit our website or stop in the Arts Center. Until next time, I'm Erin. See you later.
This